dead of night, two voices awaken from the crypt. One coffin.
Two opinions.
Endless screams. Welcome to Two Souls, One Crypt. I'm Jeff Darko.
And I'm Beth Graves.
In this week's episode, we're talking the Yeti.
Yes, the Yeti.
The Yeti 2026. It came out this year, didn't it?
It did. And just so you know, I'm not normally a fan of these kind of movies or Bigfoot, but I went in with this one with an open mind because it sounded like a good story.
Oh, yeah. I was excited when I seen the poster because it reminded me of The Thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It kind of, if you've ever seen that poster, it looks kind of like The Thing, which I think they wanted to do this kind of 80-ish, I think.
Yes. They did, but so the movie is actually based in 1947. It actually got 21% on the popcorn meter on Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes didn't rate it, which is not very good, but it was directed and written by Gene Gallerano and William Pisciotta, if that's how you say it. The film was released in the United States on April 4th, 2026. It's a survival horror film set in 1947, like I said. Following a search party into the Alaskan wilderness to find a missing oil tycoon and an adventure only to be hunted by a prehistoric creature.
Which is the Yeti.
The Yeti. So Brittany Allen.
This is their debut, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I read that this was their
Yes.
writing and directorial debut.
Brittany Allen stars in this, and if you don't know who she is, I didn't recognize her right off, but she was actually in Dexter's Original Sin, and she's also plays on The Pit, if you're a Pit fan, which I am.
Oh, yeah, she was Dexter's mom.
Yes.
When he was a little
She's a
little
fantastic actress. She did an excellent job, and she's been good in everything so far. I think she's really good, starting to really get big.
Yeah, she done a good job in this.
She did. And this movie, if you want to watch it, it's on Prime Video, Apple TV, Google Play, and Fandango at home.
So let's dive into what this movie's about there's not much to spoil.
Right, it's basically...
I mean...
You're getting chased by a gigantic Yeti, killer Yeti.
Yeah, so it's not like there's no really anything to spoil on this. There's one little part, I guess, towards the end when they had that one reveal.
Yes.
Not give away or give away, one of the two.
Well, let's not give it away, because I was surprised about it, because I was just like, okay, this is just a basic Yeti killing people movie, but there was actually a little story to it, which I found interesting.
Okay, let's get into details how this movie goes.
Okay. So they start out, is it the fathers that were hunting the Yeti, and they show that in the beginning.
Yeah, there's two, well, you don't know they're the fathers at the start of it, but there's two guys. He's got a group of people, and they're in a cabin. Yes. And then the Yeti attacks, and then the two daughters decide to, is it two daughters or a son and daughter? I know one's a daughter.
Right. Brittany plays one of the daughters.
I think it's two daughters. Anyways, they go to look for their missing dad or their dads because they never made it back. And this takes place, it's supposed to be up in like northern Alaska.
Yes. And most of it is all during the nighttime. There's not, because they're going through the woods and they're hunting, and then the lighting and it's cold and it's foggy, and so it's it's got a really creepy vibe.
Yeah, and I tried to look up the budget for this. I couldn't find how much they spent making this movie. I think I read that it was a kind of a low budget film.
Well, they really did a good job making the Yeti, the monster.
I read that was practical effects.
Okay.
I read that, yeah. I don't know how much of it. I'm sure just like some of it had, I don't know if all of it or some of it was CGI, but I read that it was like practical effects that I forget who it was that like designed it and stuff. Yeah.
Well, it looked real to me. I mean, as far as real can be for a monster, because you never know anymore. Everything is so CGI, fake, whatever. But this was pretty realistic looking. The kills were pretty violent.
What you seen? Most of the kills, my biggest gripe of this movie was most of the kills were off camera.
Yeah, well,
which I guess was due to the budget. They had a couple scenes.
The one scene where the guy got pulled through the window was pretty intense.
That one was a good one, and then the one where he was like beating the woman against the ground.
Yes.
Kind of like driving a stake in the ground, I think, is how he was beating her against the ground. Those two, which were on camera, were good. Their other ones, like the very first kill you seen, like he rips open the roof and pulls a guy through. So I don't know how big this. I don't know if he's on the roof or he's supposed to be gigantic.
Well, you don't
but,
really know. I mean, he is pretty big.
Didn't see that one, and there's a couple other ones that you didn't see, like, which I get it, I guess, budget wise.
Right, right. But yeah, and I'm sure, and then I'm like, really, was it? Wonder if it really was filmed in Atlanta. I mean, it looked like it was.
No, I don't know where. I didn't look up where it was filmed, but I doubt it was filmed. I read somewhere that it was like fake. They look. I didn't really pay attention, but somebody on Reddit said that it was. You could tell it was fake snow.
Oh.
And all this stuff, and I didn't really look into that. Like he's like, well, it's cold, but you couldn't see their. I mean, you couldn't see their breath, and then everybody was freezing. Which I did notice that there was a lot of like gaps in the cabin and stuff like that to where they're in, because they're in a cabin at the very beginning of it, and then the next expedition goes to find those, and they make it to the cabin again, and there's like a lot of holes in it and stuff, and it's supposed to be like sub temperatures, but they're not that cold. So.
Well, I know the one guy, I mentioned the one guy that went with them, and he was sort of dressed like in a fancy fur coat, and I'm thinking, this is Alaska. I think you need to be bundled up a little bit more. But
yeah, but I think that, I don't know if it was done intentionally.
Yeah.
But I know that I think they tried to make like an 80s kind of slasher movie.
Yes.
But, set in the 40s. And Corbin Burnsen's in this.
Corbin Burnsen.
Yeah, he was, I think he was one of them's dad.
Remind me, who is Corbin Burnsen? I know his face. I can't think of what he's in.
He was in Major League.
Okay. I didn't watch that, but I know who you're talking about.
I can't think of anything else right off, but he was definitely in Major League. But yeah, so he was in it. He did a good job. So yeah, the basic premise, they go on an expedition, they go missing, and then they get another expedition to go find
those people.
Those people what happened to them, kind of thing.
Right, but then, like you said, there is a little twist toward the end and gives you a little bit of a backstory of kind of like how this all came about. Because when you're watching it, you're just like, okay, they're hunting these people, the Yetis after them. It's pretty basic, but it was still pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, I was really excited when I seen this movie got announced. I think Slasher Talk first announced it when I seen it, and I seen the poster, and I was like, oh man, that looks pretty good, because it reminded me so much of The Thing. I think they did that intentionally as well. And then we finally got to watch it, and I was like, well, I'll get into my thoughts later. We'll let you go with yours first.
Well, and like I said, I'm not usually a fan of these kind of movies, but we were just kind of searching for something, and he was like, hey, let's look at this. And I was like, well, this actually looks like a decent Yeti movie.
I was excited to watch it. That's why I was like, I'd been wanting to watch it since it'd been announced.
Right. Well, I didn't know anything about it, because like I said,
didn't need to know anything other than a Yeti killing people.
And we've seen a couple other Yeti movies that were pretty good, and I've seen a couple of Bigfoot movies, and and they're all right. They're not really my thing, but I was like, okay, give a shot, and it wasn't bad.
I like this. I like those kind of movies, though. I like Sasquatch, Yeti, Bigfoot.
Yes, we know. I know. They don't know,
but I know.
I know.
One Yeti with a machete that I want to watch.
Oh my gosh, I'm not watching that one.
I mean, that one sounds like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic.
A Yeti with a machete.
No.
Back to this Yeti, 2026 Yeti.
The 2026 Yeti is just a normal Yeti. He doesn't have an axe or a machete or anything. He's just got his big claws and big teeth, and he's just killing people.
So one part of this movie that Dad didn't really understand or make sense. They were supposed to be in frozen Alaska, and they got to set up camp, and they're like, the ground's frozen, so they can't dig anything. For some reason, they're wanting to dig, so they set up dynamite and blow a big hole kind of in the ground to stay in. I was like, I didn't really understand that. I think that's when they first encounter the Yeti.
Yes.
Because one guy goes off, and then somebody goes to find him, and then some stuff happens, and then.
You can't analyze this too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's straightforward, but to me, like I said, most of the kills were off camera.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of dialogue in this movie, because a whole lot of there's more story. I wanted more Yeti.
Of course you did.
There was not enough Yeti killing, and not enough on-screen Yeti killing, I guess. But I wanted more Yeti. I wanted a lot more killing than what was going on. There's a lot more story to it than I expected.
Yeah, I kind of thought that it was going to be just Yeti killing, ravaging.
That's what I wanted.
Right. And so I think that's why I liked it, because I'm like, oh, there's actually a story to it.
Yeah, which was fine, but which I get it budget wise, but I wish there was more kills on screen.
Yeah, I mean, of course, yeah, that
one in, like you mentioned, in the cabin where his hand goes through the guy's body and pulls
him
through.
Yes,
that one was pretty cool.
That was that was
the whole budget right there.
Like, well, there's all of our money.
We can't do anything else on screen.
But yeah, I mean, I liked it for what it was.
Yeah. I mean, it's a decent movie, like I said, but there's a lot more story than, I mean, I wanted story to it, but I also wanted more killing.
Yes.
I wanted more on-screen Yeti.
Yes.
Which they do show it a couple of times, kind of stalking them. And like I said, those two, the one kill, like full body shot kill, and then the one with his arm. But it was better than, I think, the Snow Beast that we watched. I think it was called Snow Beast. We watched with Alex, and everything was like, it showed the hand, and that was it. You remember?
I can't remember much about it.
It was, it just showed
I'm
like
gonna be honest, I wasn't paying a lot of attention on that one.
It showed the hand of the Snow Beast just like do something, and it was all it was, like everything. Like you never seen anything else of the Snow Beast but the hand. So this one was much better than that.
Well, true. It really was.
But yeah, I wanted more Yeti on screen.
More Yeti. Yeah. I mean, we could have had more Yeti, but I did enjoy the story. It actually kept my attention.
How much more you want to get into the story? I mean, I know you don't want to mention that one part, but
I don't really know much more to tell on the story other than, they're just kind of hunting and then there's just like the backstory part. I don't want to ruin that in case somebody wants to watch this, and I don't want to ruin for anybody.
Yeah. I mean, there's one part. Towards the end there, it's kind of an interesting little twist.
Yeah, it's got a little twist to it at the end, and I thought that, I was like, okay.
And it kind of gives you a reason, I guess.
Yes.
For what happened throughout the whole thing.
Right. It kind of made sense.
Too much away. It might kind of ties it all up.
Right.
Kind of thing.
It ties the story together, which I thought that was really cool how they did that.
But yeah, for a debut though, what do you think of the actors? I mean, the directors for their debut film.
I was impressed. I felt like they did a good job. They got some great actors. Like I said, the Brittany lady, she was fantastic. I think she really made this movie. Once I figured out who she was, I was like, oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I kept thinking, I was like, I know her from somewhere. So I had to look her up, and I was like, oh, it's Dexter's mom.
Yeah, and I was like, it's the lady from the pit. But I knew her then as Dexter's mom later on, but yeah.
Yeah, I think for a debut, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, hope they do some other stuff.
I'm excited to see what else they do.
Yeah.
And maybe with even bigger budget.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I said, I don't know what this budget was, but.
Maybe once they maybe depending on how well they do on this, they'll hopefully make something, with more Yeti or more Bigfoot.
Yeah, or maybe skunk ape or some other kind of.
Skunk ape.
Some other kind of creature movie. I can't think of all the other ones besides skunk ape, Bigfoot, and Yeti. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what else they do.
Yeah, we'll have to follow them and see what their next project is.
So, rating?
Okay, for me, I'm going to give it a 2.5.
2.5?
I liked it, but I didn't love it.
Yeah, but you like the story.
I did, but I would not have watched it if you hadn't asked me to watch it.
Would you watch it again?
No.
Would you recommend anybody watching it at all?
If you are a fan of Yetis and Bigfoot and things like that, I say 100% go watch it.
All the cryptid stuff?
Yes. If you're into that, watch it. I'm not, but I went in with an open mind and I enjoyed it, but it's not usually my thing.
Well, if you're just slightly into those stuff.
You're slightly into it and you can't find anything to watch, give it a shot.
Yeah, I wanted to see it in the theater, but I don't think it come around here. But after watching it, I'm kind of glad we didn't go to the theater and watch it. Yeah. It might have been better as a theater experience. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm kind of glad that we didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to say, I'm going to just give it 2 skulls.
What?
Yeah. The story was good for what it was. It was pretty straightforward, but then, they had the little twist there at the end.
Yeah, that's why I gave it a little 2.5, because I liked the twist at the end.
But to me, I wanted more kills on screen.
Of course you did.
I wanted more Yeti because it was, I don't know, I was really excited about watching this movie. And when I seen the poster and the trailer, I feel like maybe I had to go back and watch the trailer, but I think the trailer gave away basically all the kills. I can't remember, but.
Yeah, that's why I hate watching too many trailers. I just kind of want to get a synopsis and not ruin it, but.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree with you. If you're definitely a fan of Yetis and Sasquatches and all things cryptid, then definitely check it out.
Yes.
It's not a bad movie. I've seen worse.
Yes, definitely.
I've seen better. It's kind of an average movie. Like I said, if you have anything else to watch and you're interested in that sort of thing and you want to see a Yeti kill some people, then by all means go for it.
Yeah, give it a shot.
It's no Yeti with a machete. I don't know. I've not
Which I will not be watching.
Not watched that yet, but yeah. Like I said, it's got some gore to it. It's got some blood. That one, the very first scene with all that kind of gave me I don't know, kind of Tarantino or Evil Dead kind of vibes with all the blood, like just like an insane amount of blood filling her at the very beginning.
Yeah, at the very beginning.
I thought that was pretty cool.
But that was like, oh wow, this is gonna be gory. Yeah, that was like probably the best parts was at the very beginning with all the gore, and then there was like some throughout, but I think that was it. Really got you off the bat, but then it kind of was like,
yeah, it was more story driven.
Yeah,
which I mean, it was a good story, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 skulls for me.
2.5 for me.
If you're a fan of Yetis, or if you're a fan of just a beast killing some people,
yes,
and a straightforward story with a slight little twist at the end, and it wraps it all up, and makes sense for what's going on, then check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
And if not, and you're bored, still check it out.
Sure.
I say, yeah, it's worth a watch at least once.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anything else you want to add on the Yeti?
I think I'm good on the Yeti.
All right. Until next time, I'm Jeff Darko.
I'm Beth Graves.